Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Good. I've got a Dear John letter coming up here, and this is a little unorthodox. Usually we respond to the Dear John letter on the radio, and that's kind of what we're going to do here today. But Heidi's already responded.
Yes, I did.
Before I even knew we got the Dear John letter.
Yes, I did.
So she hands it to me and says, oh, hey, here's your Dear John letter. And I'm like, what's all this other stuff? And it's all the replies from Heidi. You need to behave, young lady. I'm reading some of this stuff, and we're gonna respond with our Dear John letter later in the program. The advice from Heidi is not necessarily
it's
the official advice.
On.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll get to Dear John letters here in a bit, and we'll tell you how to submit your own. You can do that through our website, johnandheidishow.com, or through our Facebook page. Either way. Here's our quote for today. Winston Churchill said, "Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees all others." I like that.
I loved
Winston
Churchill.
There were two movies about him
man.
that came out last year. I watched the one. I don't think we've seen the other one yet, but I'm going to have to watch them both now. But it was good. It was a good movie. This has been your quote for the day. We've got a lot of great stuff to get to on this Thursday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Thursday, the 28th day of June. It is National Alaska Day. Also National Paul Bunyan Day. He's that big guy with Babe the Blue Ox.
Yeah.
It's also National Insurance Awareness Day. National Bomb Pop Day. Oh, we have some of those. Do we have? Are they gone now?
I think you guys ate them all.
No, they were good. And National Handshake Day. Hey, put her there, Heidi. Let's shake hands. We really did shake hands. We didn't just say we did it on the radio. That was a pretty firm grip, by the way. It was a nice handshake. Let's do that one more time. It's a pretty firm. Whoa, it's letting me know you're there. You know, I'm not a big fan of the dead fish handshake.
I'm not either.
Do I give you the dead
I
fish
have
handshake?
a very strong handshake.
Yeah, you do. I heard my hand crack.
Oh, you didn't hear your hand crack.
Today is National Handshake Day. Have you ever had like a secret handshake with somebody?
Not really, no.
I remember having, it wasn't intended to be a secret handshake, but when the whole fist bump thing became a popular deal, I've never been on the cutting edge. So I was in this group, and a guy who was a new member of the group reached out his fist to do a fist bump, and I thought maybe he had like a gimpy hand, and I shook his hand. I grabbed the whole fist and shook it, and he looked at me like I was nuts. He's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "What was what?" He goes, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "Why did you give me like a potato instead of a..." He's like, "It's a fist bump." I'm like, "I don't know what that means." I'm new at all this. National Handshake Day. Thanks for listening.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, Heather Locklear has been released from prison after a 3-day psychiatric hold. I'm really sad that she's got stuff going on in her life like that. I always thought she seemed pretty darn cool, didn't you? She was in a bunch of stuff back in the
I know
70s and 80s. And I don't know, I just always thought she seemed like a neat lady. So I'm really sad that she's going through those troubled times.
Everybody has problems.
Oh,
doesn't
absolutely.
matter how famous you are.
It doesn't matter how famous you are or how rich you are or how nice you are. I mean, there's so many things that can happen to anybody.
Yep.
So, you know, it's not just because she's going through troubles doesn't mean she's not nice or doesn't mean that she's not.
By the way,
beautiful.
I love your shirt today.
Oh, hey, thank you.
I absolutely
it's still,
love
it's a little
it.
snug. I can't really wear this out. But what does it say? I can't
It
even read it from
says,
here.
I never dreamed I'd end up marrying the perfect freaking wife, but here I am living the dream.
Hey, there you go. See?
Yeah.
I think it's funny. It says, I never dreamed, and then it says, I'm living the dream. Doesn't it seem like that's a little
contradictory?
A little bit, yeah. But thanks for the shirt, Heidi. She bought this for me. And she's my wife. Imagine that. We've got your brain on drugs coming right up.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
And this is your brain on drugs. 32-year-old Florida man. Just got to say something here for a second. Yesterday's brain on drugs was from Florida. Today's is from Florida. Tomorrow, Florida. Oh, then Alabama. Okay. I've got a whole stack of these. I'm like, I keep thinking, should I use this for fake news or Florida, or should I use it here? And I'm like, I really got to use it here. A Florida man was arrested after screaming at his neighbors and threatening to kill them because his testicles hurt. What? This happened... This happened on June 10th. Caller reported, quote, a white man was on drugs and threatening to kill the neighbors with a gun. Deputies responded and made contact with the man while he was walking up and down the road. He was soaked from sweat, according to the report. Police said he claimed that his, area was not feeling good. He thought that parasites from swimming in the creek had somehow infiltrated. He said that he was trying to use his neighbor's phone, but they wouldn't let him in. I don't know why. According to the police report, he was apologetic for cursing and screaming at people. They found his phone crushed in the middle of the road from where he had apparently thrown it down and stomped on it earlier. So, yeah, he had some things going on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know exactly what that was all about, but it's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jerry Seinfeld has a new season of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and they released the trailer for Season 10. Guess who is in Season 10?
Who?
Lots of funny people, but your favorite comedian and mine, Brian Regan. He's
love
been on
him.
at least 2 other times, because I've seen him in 2 others. And one of the things that they talked about was a couple of jokes that they had that were similar. They have a similar style. And Jerry had one joke that was, about this, and then Brian Regan had a joke that was similar to that, and people were saying, hey, did you steal that from him? And neither one of them stole it from each other. They just both had jokes about it. So, anyway, Season 10. I can't believe there's that many seasons. I thought they just started the other day.
Amazing.
So
I absolutely love that man.
Season 10 trailer is out. I've got a link to it
You
in our
better
show
hope
notes.
he never approaches me in
Yeah, I
any
know.
way, because it would be devastating for you.
I know. We've met him numerous times, and when you showed him your tattoo of him on his arm, he took a giant step back. I'm pretty sure I'm safe. I don't know what gives me that clue, but she has a tattoo of the man on her arm. It's an invisible
love
tattoo you can only
him.
see under black light, which makes it even kind of creepier, really. So you should see the video is on YouTube, isn't it, of us showing him the tattoo?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know if it is or not, but he's nice dude. Anyway, this has been Big Screen, Little Screen, and Jerry Seinfeld has this new thing called Comedians in Cars
It's
Getting
not
Coffee.
new.
It's only been around 10 years. It's brand new. You've probably never heard of it. I have a link to it in our show
Newer
notes.
than our car, I
There
suppose.
you go. See, it's all a perspective. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by 80sinthesand.com. Summer is here. Doctors are reminding us to be careful not to leave babies or children or pets locked up in a closed car.
I don't know how this has all of a sudden become an issue. Why are people not aware that they have children?
Here's what happens. The babies fall asleep in the back seat, and then, they kind of just forget. And I think a lot of it is people are so busy, they got so many things going on.
I just don't understand how that
Well,
happens.
it's never happened to you, but it's happened to others, and I guarantee you they wish that it hadn't happened.
Well, of course they do.
So they're just saying, be careful, and I think what you need to do is if you have like a briefcase or whatever that you take in, set it next to the baby, and in the back, not necessarily right next to the baby. Put
purse.
something back there. Or if you really want to, take off one of your shoes and put it back there. I guarantee you're not going to walk in the office and go, I left a shoe somewhere. Where did I leave that?
Right.
You'll remember. But have something that you can do that will remind you for sure. There are apps that you can download. There's all kinds of stuff. Those are like high-tech solutions. Guarantee you, taking your left shoe off and throwing it in the back seat, that's a low-tech solution that you won't forget. How young is too young for a kid to have their own tablet, Heidi?
I don't know. I don't think a kid needs their own tablet at all.
It's up to each child, their parents, probably not up to the child. But age 2 seems to be really young, according to a new survey. Survey finds 1 in 4 kids under the age of 2 have their own tablet. Their own tablet.
Yeah, I
More
think
than
that's silly.
A third of 3 to 5-year-olds have their own tablet. I didn't have a tablet till I was in my 30s. Well, then again, tablets didn't exist until I was in my 30s. Back when I was a kid, you know what a tablet was? An Etch-a-Sketch. And I didn't know how to use that very well either. I had to
I could do
shake it all the
stairs.
time. I could do really good stairs. I actually remember a kid that could make curves. Like he could curve it. Like he would turn this and twist. I was like, that is amazing. What a talent. I don't know if you could do that in real life, like to use that as a skill, but to make
Put
curves.
it on your resume.
Yeah, I can curve things. Etch-a-Sketch. Now do I get the job? No? Okay. In Italy, under the cover of night, rather, it wasn't undercover, but it was under the cover of night, armed with a blowtorch, thieves made off with some Parmesan cheese. Not just a canister, not just a case, but a whole warehouse full. 25,000 pounds of Parmesan
They
cheese.
must really like Parmesan cheese.
Or they just like money. Guess what this cheese is worth?
How much?
$300,000. That's
But
all.
where do you
A
sell
lot of cheese?
black market cheese?
Probably at the black market cheese shop. I have no idea.
how do you justify the fact that you have all this cheese?
You just set up
that's
shop
not going
somewhere.
to be fishy.
And you call it, Parmesan World or something? I'm not sure. They probably hadn't thought it through that much. They'll get rid of it, I'm sure. It's good stuff. I'll take when they do the grinder thing at the restaurants with the Parmesan cheese. They say, "Tell me when to stop," and they keep going. And then they remind me, they're like, "Tell me when to stop." I'm like, "No, you just keep going." Like when you run out of that block of cheese, you come back. Then we'll have enough cheese. The wife of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been charged with fraud after billing the state for $100,000 worth of food. But it wasn't for food. Like they said, this doesn't add up. So that's really sad. I don't know what's going on there.
That is sad.
And we missed it, Heidi. We could have taken our dogs and raked in some dough. The world's ugliest dog contest.
Our dogs
I know.
would have never won.
No, they wouldn't have. Our
that
dogs
contest.
We used to have a dog that would have.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll talk about him in a second. But over the weekend, the world's ugliest dog contest was held in California. The winner this time was Jaja, a bulldog from Minnesota, won the grand prize of $1,500. Judging was not just based on appearance, but also personality. And if you'd like to see what Jaja looks like, well, there's a page on the internet with that photo. It's our page. And it's probably other pages too, but we have a link to it in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters. All right, we get Dear John Letters through email or through our Facebook page, and then we respond to them on the radio. And typically we respond to them on the radio, and we always respond through Facebook or however you sent it as well. We always keep it anonymous, but Heidi has already responded to this one. I just want to make sure that I let the young lady know that there's another side to this advice. So I'll give you my advice. So here we go. Dear John. Notice it doesn't say Dear Heidi. If you notice that there. It's like you opened my mail. Isn't that a federal offense or something? Dear John, my husband and I are divorcing and separated right now after only 4 years of marriage. We're still married right now, but he has found another woman, and before he found this one, had been seeing and talking to quite a few other women. I was wondering, should I still try to be friendly with each other? We just found out that he has cancer, and it's in his blood and lymph nodes. Should I be there for him as a wife or as a friend or not at all? Please help. I love your show. And then Heidi replied with some advice. Wasn't too nice to the guy, and she replied back, and she said, he was telling lies and telling people that his wife had died in an accident and sent other women flowers, and I never got any from him. Signed, Almost X.
What a puke.
I always come up with a little name, by the way, because
What
we
a
keep it
puke.
anonymous. So Heidi's advice is not necessarily nice advice. She's saying, and I'll let you go ahead and say what you said.
What do you mean it's not nice?
Well,
it is
just-
perfect advice.
Okay, but your advice was what?
Well, first of all, let's hear what your
No. I just want
wimpy advice is. Let's say the shoe's on the other foot. Let's say I had been having an affair and you found out I had cancer. Would you be by my side?
Here's what I'm going to say. Again, Almost X, which I know that's not your real name. And I'm going to respond through Facebook, too, to let you know. Don't let his actions change who you are. Because when something happens, he's going to be gone pretty soon. And you're going to feel awful for a long, long time because you weren't there for this. You loved this man at one point. He's still your husband right now. I understand. He's done some terrible things. He's not a good guy. But he doesn't have a lot of time left. And I think that you're going to feel really, really, really bad someday.
It's karma.
Well, I think you're going to feel really bad someday when you go, I basically told him to stick it. Now, I'd like for you to share the advice. Do you want me to read it? Because I have it on here. I will.
Please do.
I'm gonna
I
read.
stand by my advice.
Heidi said, where is it here? This is Heidi. As you know, I'm pretty blunt. You don't owe this man a thing. The complete lack of respect that he has shown you completely absolves you of any obligation at all to be supportive to him. Was he supportive to you when he ripped your heart out and stomped on it? I won't read the next line on the radio. But it ended, we'll just say it was in a negative context that, no, he really didn't. We'll just say that. Find yourself a hot man, then the two of you go visit him in the hospital together. What? Heidi.
I stand by that. Brilliant advice.
No, it was top-notch advice right there.
Revenge and happiness all wrapped into one nice, tidy little bow.
Okay. Again, you do what you feel like you need to do, but I can tell from everything that you guys talked about on here that she is a sweetheart, and she's reached out to us on some other things, too. She's a very nice lady. Super nice lady. And single, too, guys. Just
See?
but I'm just saying, super nice lady. You don't want everybody else in his life, they don't know the story. They don't know what happened. They're going to think you're an awful person.
How? No.
No, I just think that the rest of the world is going to think she did something wrong. I think that, again, I'm not saying that you need to go bake him cookies, but certainly
He's
don't.
already with somebody else.
I understand.
So she moves on. There's nothing on her.
I'm not saying that she shouldn't move on. Move on.
She
That's
should move
fine.
on, and they should go visit him
She just-
every day, multiple times a day.
I wanted to introduce you once again to Raphael. You remember him, right? He's my hot new boyfriend. Just wanted to make sure that you knew that. Is there anything he can do? He's a massage therapist. If you need, he could maybe help. No? Why are you crying all of a sudden? I just think this is a bad idea. Again, I don't remember. I'm looking at her page now. I almost said her name. We always keep this anonymous. So again, Almost X. That's what we called her. You can take Heidi's advice if you'd like, or you can take the high road. I mean, it's up to you. This has been your Dear John letter. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. If you have a Dear John letter that you'd like answered, you can send that through Facebook or right through our website, johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner, you should consider using radio. Radio is a powerful tool. Over 90% of us listen to the radio each week. Imagine if this ad was talking about your business, helping you hit your goals. We can help. We can also create a fun jingle, too, to get people singing your song. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable, and that makes radio work even better. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. Radio jingles to help you get better results with the money you're already spending. RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Louis Pasteur invented not just pasteurization, but also the rabies
I
vaccination.
almost said he invented milk.
Yeah. Yeah, Louis Pasteur invented milk. Would you just... I should ask you questions instead of just doing fun facts. I'll see if you get this one right. What American state is the only American state to begin with the letter P? Huh?
Well, it would be Pennsylvania.
There you go. It is. It's Pennsylvania. I was just checking. Fun fact for you, Heidi. Pennsylvania is the only American state to begin with the letter P. Unless you count Ohio or Utah. No, that's not going to. All right. Couple of fun facts right there, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. Today is Callithumpian. Callithumpian. What do you think Callithumpian means? Callithumpian. Callithumpian. It's an adjective. Resembling a discordant band or noisy parade is what it means. In a sentence, you ready for this? The club was just a Callithumpian ruckus. It was impossible to carry on any kind of conversation. Callithumpian.
Alrighty.
So it's just like a loud band or a noisy parade. I have been to places where the band was very Callithumpian.
I can't stand that. I don't like to be places where the music is too loud because then you can't have a...
Exactly.
If you're trying to have a conversation and you have to scream, the music is too loud.
And that's where...
Not that I... Okay.
You're sounding really old.
I know I sound old.
I just wanted to phrase that the right way.
When I'm at a concert, I like the music loud.
Yeah, there you go.
When I'm at a restaurant,
my favorite
where there's a band, it's like, come on.
I was at a coffee shop one time where they had like a open mic night or jam night or whatever, and I was just trying to order coffee. It was so loud in there, you couldn't even order coffee.
Yeah.
I was like, coffee.
Yeah,
like,
that's where it's
coffee.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at stuff. I'm like, I'll just go somewhere else. This dude is very talented, though. He's quite Callithumpian. That is our grandiloquent word of the day.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now some weird news for you on a Thursday. Barry Opay, age 35, was arrested for burglary after his smelly armpits identified him.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
A London man spotted Opay and two friends sitting outside his home one morning and was choked by the smell as he passed them. When that same man returned home from work that night to find his apartment had been burglarized, he said, "Wait a minute.
I know that smell.
I know this." Thinking fast, he called a video game store to see if any of his missing electronics had been sold, and sure enough, he found a clerk who encountered the same smelly dude and was ultimately able to identify Opay in a lineup.
Gross.
He was arrested by British police later that day. Caught him by the scent of his armpits. That's not good. If I ever smell like that, would you please let me know?
Oh, yes.
All right. Do I smell like that?
No.
Not that bad?
No.
Every once in a while?
Well, once in a while, you're a little right, but I tell you. I'm like, how long has it been since you taking a shower?
Why don't you go
I went swimming yesterday.
Up, stinky
no, that
man.
doesn't count.
Yeah, I know. This has been... No, it doesn't count. This has been some weird news. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. This little thing here, it's like wobbly.
Yeah, I know. It's
I don't know what's
making
going on.
noise.
It's driving me nuts. I got just a little timer. I don't know what I did. It was just perfect before. I have no clue what I did there. Your moment of duh. Shamron West, 21 years young, was arrested in Arkansas at a restaurant when he tried to pay for a meal with the waitress's stolen credit card. What are the odds of that?
Wow.
He just finished a meal. He attempted to pay the bill with a credit card. The waitress recognized that it was hers, which had been stolen when her car was burglarized the day before. A quick-thinking
What an
manager
idiot.
called police. They searched West and found other stolen items in his possession from a previous break-in. He was arrested at the scene on charges of forgery and theft. He stole a credit card and then tried to use it with the very woman he stole it from. I'm sure he
What are
didn't
the
know
odds?
that. I know, but I just think there's like some poetic justice there or something. I don't know. It's kind of an
Why
interesting
would he use
thing.
it in the same town that he stole it? Wouldn't you use it
I
elsewhere or
don't know.
online or
Here's
something?
the thing. He's an idiot. That's why it's today's moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
This time of year, there are many parties, weddings, cookouts, and other events that often include alcohol. If you're drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. The Addiction Hope and Helpline wants to help. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, there's a toll-free number you can call, 1-800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
Time now for fake news or Florida. You ready for this one, Heidi?
I am ready.
You tell me if this is true or if it's a bunch of flubbery, if we made it up. Fake news or Florida? A naked man in Florida is facing burglary and aggravated assault charges after breaking into a home and attacking the homeowner with a rake. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
That is a true story. Did we talk about this? Or?
I think we talked about that.
I was going to say, I've had this one for a while, so I didn't know if we already talked about it. The victim, 37-year-old Maurice Costando, was naked in their home on Friday night. Says the victim found... He wasn't the victim. He was the naked one. But the victim said he found the naked man in his home Friday night. After calling authorities, one of the victims threw the man out of the home, and then they got into a physical altercation. That's when the man used a rake to hit the victim several times, leaving multiple puncture wounds. Ouch. That would hurt. The man was able to get a hammer from his truck and strike the Castellando before he ran away from the scene. K-9 and air respondents to the scene tracked and located the suspect a few streets away. He was arrested after the victim positively identified him at the scene. So that is crazy. Just bizarre. Why in the world? I don't know. There is no response that would be a good response. So we'll just say, I've got a link to the whole story if you want to read all about it. And that's in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That is the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All the details at radiosavings.com. And this is just a cool story. Now, we've had several stories recently where we'll see a police officer do something awesome, and we give them the kudos. And every once in a while, we'll have a firefighter story where there's some kudos, and that's what we have today. There was a family filling up a little kiddie swimming pool with pots and pans, and then some firemen drove by and said, wait a minute, I bet we could help those guys. It says they don't always have to be rescuing people from a burning building to be serving their communities. A group of firefighters from the Charlotte Fire Station in Charlotte, North Carolina, were on the way back from a medical call when they spotted a family trying to fill an outdoor kiddie pool with pots and pans. Not only that, the family had been trying to fill the pool because it was the little boy's birthday.
Aww.
With hose in hand, the firefighters stopped and lent a hand. Within just a matter of minutes, the pool was filled. The kids were finally able to have some fun in the sweltering heat. The fire station posted photos of the sweet encounter on Facebook, explaining how this is typical behavior for their civil servants. Firehouse 18 is a neighborhood firehouse full of men and women who truly care about the families they swore to protect, writes the station. What was just a simple task for us turned into laughter, smiles, and a lifelong memory for the neighborhood kids as well as the men on Engine 18. I think that's really neat.
That's very sweet.
And it's cool that they were able to do that. And the sad thing is there are posts on Facebook where there are people who are complaining about it. How amazing is that?
Yeah, well.
They're saying,
people
they're
are going to complain about everything, John.
wasting public resources. No, they
Whatever.
weren't. They weren't on the way to a fire.
Right.
They were coming home. They were done. Everything was done. They said,
Right.
hey, we got some water in there. The kiddie pool isn't big.
No.
It's not like If they stopped and filled an Olympic-sized swimming pool, it might be
then
something
you could
to
have
argue.
reason to complain.
Yeah, I don't understand that. There's some people who want to find
People will
negative in
complain
everything,
no
but
matter
it's
what.
just a great story, and that's why we wanted to end on that positive note with some good news. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got a link to this and to our Dear John letter and all of the fun stuff in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.